situation is, just know that you're at this crossroads right now because you have a decision to make. But most times you already have the answer. I remember I said to her, I said, have you never heard God's voice? She said, no. And I said, are you kidding me? You never heard God? She said, no, I never heard God's voice. I said, well, you live alone now. When you talk to yourself, what's the voice that answers you back? That voice. She said, that's my voice. I said, but God speaks to you in your own voice. And that's the point I wanted to get across to somebody today who feels as if you're alone. And I think I am pushed to do this even more now because a couple weeks ago I was at the Edge conference in New Jersey, and I was touched by how high the percentage is for 2024 for mental wellness need. And that's in this country. But there are so many people now who are putting bands together to create resources to deal with people who just need to have somebody to talk to and somebody to help to redirect people so they don't fly the coop in Jamaica with us, so they don't lose their mind. And I got a little bit emotional because in a Jamaica, we can't even use the word mental health. And we can't even use it in churches. There's no space for mental health in Jamaica. And I think I would love to see more resources in that case, because we're not talking about people on the streets only who in a dirty clothes and smell bad. I'm talking about well-dressed corporate people, well-dressed ordinary people out there whose one voice, one sound, one situation away from doing something crazy. So when I hear somebody who says this, say God doesn't hear their prayer, I have to stop and I think about it. I say, you know what? This is where the devil lives, where fear is. I've learned this in my spiritual journey, that the devil doesn't have any power. I was brought up and I always thought, the devil strong, him have power. No, I've come to learn that that's not true. See, the devil uses fear. And when I say the devil, y'all just know what I mean. Dark energy, disappointment, bad luck, whatever you want to call it. That's what I mean. That energy, anything that's negative, it feeds on your light. And your light is your belief and your knowing of a higher power. But as soon as something starts to happen around you, to you, in your environment, in a totally different country, but you resonate with it so much that you bring it home here, it uses the fear that you have of something that may never happen and takes your light away. That's the battle between darkness and light. I've learned that. And I think if more people understood how much power you have as a person with a heart, a person with your own choices, a person with God in your ears every single day, the voice in your ears that says, yo, fly the coop. You want to start your business? All right, fine. Let's take a leap and trust. Let's take a leap and trust in what I'm telling you. Be still and know that I've got you. And the problem is, most of us are so fearful that it cripples our success. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I think. I'm on a God marathon this year, which is weird. It's not like me. But I talk it in private spaces. I talk it around private tables. And I'm going to talk it here for free. Because I would like people to start standing in their own power, to understand that, there is nothing that you can perceive that's not possible for you if you take the fear out of it and just trust in a higher power. Now, how many people here can tell me about a situation you've ever been in? Mad situation, something, sickness, healing, miracle that just happened. And when it happened, you have to stop to yourself and say, I couldn't have planned that. Oh, that worked out so. All right. In the life before that probably didn't happen, I talk about the diagnosis that I had last year, in the dreams that I had. And me I get the dreams from January, February, March, ignoring them, not paying them no mind. And let me tell you what God did. Spirit set me up in a way that I was only opening an oven door. That's it. Me not been or nothing. And I think I waited 3 months getting these dreams, and my body warned me and I'm not moving fast enough. And I wasn't listening. And just by pulling the oven door to open it, the wickedest pain lit me. It was the worst pain I felt probably since childbirth. And that pain is what got me to the doctor. All of the dreams and warnings me that get before, I wasn't listening because I didn't want to go, okay? But when I went to the doctor, here's how it go. Here's how I see it. There was an angel there whispering in the doctor's ears because he couldn't do it either because the doctor don't know my situation. All he knew was I came there with bad back pain. And after he dealt with the back, this doctor just started to ask me, when is the last time you did a mammogram? When is the last time you did a pap smear? Listen, you should have done this. I'm writing you up to do this, that, and ultrasound and all this type of stuff. And that happened then, I have to look at it and say, God set me up to go to the doctor for back pain, which all of a sudden the back pain left. As soon as the doctor started to do these things and sign me up, the back pain gone. And I could go to do all these tests because by now, me start listen. To find myself to come back to my doctor for them to tell me, listen, you're 1 stage away from stage 1 cancer. We're going to operate in, I think it was a month. I'm sit down on the table and I say, Wayne just say a while ago. What am I talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about. And here's how I look at it. Another angel whispered in that doctor's ears and said, you know what, Miss Burrell, wait a minute. Let me go call the surgeon and get back to you. And in about another 15 to 20 minutes, she came back in and she said, you know what? I discussed with the surgeon. The surgeon said he's not going to wait a month. You're doing this operation tomorrow. This was a Wednesday in June 2024. And the Wednesday by 2 o'clock, I had to go to Brookdale Hospital to get prepped for surgery. For Thursday morning, 7 o'clock, I was to go back to the hospital for surgery. I didn't have time to call family members. I didn't have time to Google, to freak out. I didn't have time for nothing. At that point, I said to her, this must be God. This must be God because I was getting these dreams from January, February, March, and I ignored them. And Spirit set it up for me to get on wicked back pain, which is the only thing that could get me to go to the doctor. And not just that. Let me tell you how God works. Not just that. The doctor didn't just look on my back. He had the knowing from another whisper from God in his ear to say, listen, this girl, don't let her leave until you make sure she is 100% clean. This doesn't just happen to me. This happens to millions of people. They just don't talk about it. When God is setting you up, he's the one who plans. Your mind cannot think about anything beyond now. What my mind can see right now around me in this apartment is the only thing that it believes. And even if Alexa tell me it's snowing outside, my mind still won't believe it until I go to the door, open it, and see snow falling. But God, a higher power, the support system that you have that's in the spiritual realm, that's where miracles happen, where your faith lives, where your knowing is. Because God is the only one who can synchronize something for you as far as 10 years from now, but he started to set it up right now. I know people have these stories, and I had to say this to her. I said, don't say that you don't believe in God, that God's not listening to you. God's the voice that you hear in your ears. When you say to yourself, why am I left a relationship here in our work out? And you hear your own voice and it says, leave. And you start to fight it because you say to yourself, I can't go. How am I going to do it? I don't have stability. I don't have enough money. You're living in a lack mentality. And there's a voice, and who do you think the voice is? Where do you think the voice is coming from? People always where you want to see an angel, an apparition come down in front of you and say, this, I am God, and kick you in the behind and said, listen, go get that job application. Go and look for that lease to start your own business. Listen, me, start cook food and just put out some advertisement and start selling food. Listen, start doing something digital. Listen, left the job. Listen, left the man. This is what we all want. You want everything to happen, like you literally want somebody to push you in the direction when you're already getting directions. And you're being protected, you're being directed, and you're being redirected. So if you're in whatever situation it is now, diagnosis, immigration problems, let go of the fear. The fear is where the devil lives. Because when you become fearful, you cripple yourself. You can't hear the voice, and you don't succeed from where fear is because you're worried about what you think will happen. But the miracles that's already happening for you was already pre-planned. I got too many stories about these miracles, and as I spoke to these ladies today, they themselves realized they could stop. There was one girl who was telling me about a couple years ago, right here, going to Long Island, and she said it was snowing, and for some reason out of nowhere, somebody just started to slide. Their vehicle started to slide, and she said she was looking on this van coming down on her. She said, Nikki, me know me not live. She said, me know me not live. Me just give up and me just say, sit there. That's it, no. And she said, that's how she ended up going to church too. She said there's nobody who can tell her. She just saw this white, like should I said, this white apparition, but she said it was a lady, but she not full white. And just as the vehicle for hit her, she said the lady was in front of the vehicle, and she said all the vehicle shake, she not feel nothing. And she said her vehicle was totaled, and she came out without a scratch. And she said, when the police come, and she said to them, say, one lady, look for the lady. There was a lady there between my van and that. No, then I said, the lady. Who do you think did that? Beyond the scenes, behind the scenes of your life, behind the scenes of your workplace, the bus stop where you don't know, in your house, behind the scenes where these eyes aren't perceiving, you have enough support. You have an angelic team that is there supporting you. So for the person who's thinking, me nah no support, me nah no help, dig deep. And if you're in a situation right now that you feel, listen, God, I can't take anymore. This is one of that thing. We blame God for a lot of stuff. And the reason I'm going to say this now, because somebody else said this today. They said, God, give me more than what I can bear. But you know what I had to say? God never gives you more than what you can bear. But you know what we do? We take on people problem. We take on enough people weight. We're enough for we. And God's not the one who did that. You did it. There are a lot of things that happen to us in life, and we hold on to the trauma, and we also bring the weight. That's why God say, forgive and leave vengeance to me. This happened to me. There are a lot of people, especially in Afro country, would I love to sit down around table with people to deal with incest and molestation and pedophilia in my country. But I won't say it here because it has become such a norm, and it was the norm, and it's happened to so many well-dressed, beautiful people now. They kind of don't know how to continue in life without carrying that weight. Whenever you feel like things are happening where you can't take no more, you feel like give up, it's time for you to stop and assess and say, yo, I'm bringing somebody's weight that ain't mine. And you gotta let it go. And let it go and let God deal with it. Because at the end of the day, if you're carrying weight that's not yours, you are going to feel overwhelmed. You are going to feel like, yo, me have to give up. No. God, me no one day no more. I would like to see, especially for my people, everybody on my people with me attack, Jamaican people, because you have the tenacity to do everything great. And every time I look at that, I say, yo, I'm proud to be a Jamaican, I don't care. Because whatever we do great. And there are many nations who are like this, no joke. But I have to talk about what I know. But what breaks you is your lack of faith and your fear. You're fearing things that probably will never happen. Okay? So you're in relationships and it's a revolving door and you can't find anyone that's right. Well, stop for a second and say, yo, what is it that I'm afraid of so much? Why I don't align with somebody who treats me right? Do you know where that stops? Look in the mirror and the reflection tells you that you're not treating yourself right. So if you're not loving yourself right, how do you expect somebody else to love you? You're attracting people who are also mama's boys, who also don't know about love, who also probably were traumatized themselves and don't even know what love is. You don't know what it looks like, what it feels like. You don't know anything about it. You don't know what it sounds like. So the first person to you say, yo, me love your girl, you're pretty. I first never see a girl pretty so. And you start to melt because you don't know how to love yourself for real. Like just to be in a space and know, hey, this is the color I like. This is the ambience I really love for me. This is where I'd want to be for myself. This is my projection of what I want my life to be. This is my happiness. And then when you find yourself there, you know, if you look for love, it finds you without judgment, without anything else. So while the world is going crazy, I've been having this conversation ever since Trump came in. Ever since Monday. Because people are going crazy and they're fearful. But because I know, I don't believe in God anymore. I know God. I know God for myself and I know the miracles. And when the election was won, I kept saying, Trump didn't win the election. Congratulations to you, Mr. Trump. But God won the election. Because no matter which party came in, God won the election. And whatever needs to happen will happen through them. You ever find yourself in a situation where God used your enemy for warn you? You got to tell me there's somebody here who's been through that. God used your enemy to warn you. Somebody thinks they're doing something to hurt you. A lot of you have been through this situation. And you take it so personal to heart. Say, why this person not like me? Why this person not fight me? Why is this person making my life so hard? Don't look at this person with judgment. Thank them. Because God is seeing something better, something greater for you. And the only way he can get you to really move is to use somebody who you call an enemy to get your bum up and to get moving and to take that leap of faith. So for the people out there, I don't care what you're going through. I don't care how bad it is. I had one girl in my group. She has stage 2 cancer. She has to deal with that. She needs support. And we're going to be support for her. There's another girl. She has immigration issues. Really seriously. And she's fearful. There's another girl. She's been abused. And I am only saying this because the stories of these women are stories of many people who will see this or who will hear it. And it's your story too. And the only thing it's saying is there's a plan for you. Or maybe you've been hearing the plan all along, but you've just been so stubborn and so fearful you haven't been listening. So it's time to take the faith. Take a leap of faith in yourself and understand, yo, when I see me walk out a road, I know some of me when I walk, me have enough angel back at me.